Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I am exhausted, so I hope that doesn't come through too much. Free advice: get married and have children when you're young. It would be much more pleasant to be changing grandchildren's diapers when I wanted to, rather than dealing with my own small children. I mean, I love them, don't get me wrong, but I also would like to sleep at some point. It would be lovely. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about our boy Lane Myers. So, apparently, allegedly, the live streams were taken down where Lane Myers was calling for call floods against Judge Metcalf. Judge Metcalf did issue an order, and as I suspected, he doesn't have the power to make the audio recordings available if there's a transcript. This is a policy in place. It's not his doing. It's not his control. If there's a court reporter there, the only way they get paid, my understanding, the only way they get paid is to sell the transcript. That's where they get paid. So they're there doing the work, and then when someone orders the transcript, they get paid. That's my best guess on how they do it. There might be a fee to them to be present, to take the shorthand, but where they really get paid is selling the transcript. So Judge Metcalf has ordered that the transcripts be produced. The state's going to get a copy, and Myers is going to get a copy for free. I'm sure anybody else can order one if they want to pay for it. I'm also reasonably sure that Myers will somehow figure out, well, maybe he won't, because it's going to be harder for him to get stuff out of jail, but he might be able to get the transcript out of jail. But, you know, I seriously doubt there's going to be anything actually interesting in the transcripts. It isn't apparent from the judge's order, but who knows? So, I mean, it's stupid, though, by the way, that they took down the videos, the live streams, or whatever. People are saying that, oh, you know, maybe they watched your videos and realized it was a bad mistake to do that, and that is giving them credit for too much intelligence. You can't, well, I guess you can, but it's useless to close the barn door after the horse has already left. If probation and or the state doesn't have copies of those of those YouTube videos, I'm assuming they were live streams, didn't watch any of them. If they don't have copies of the live streams or videos, whatever, they still have the jail phone call recordings. They still have those. And those aren't censored or in any way. I mean, they're free to probation and to the state. There's no way to get rid of those phone call recordings from the jail. So it's pointless to take the videos down. The smart thing to do would be to not make the videos. The smart thing to do for Lane Myers would be to shut the fuck up and not give interviews while he's in jail. Because he's all wound up, he's spun up, and there's no spinning him down. There's no release for him. So he gets on these interviews, and he's spun up and he spins out. Like, was it yesterday? I think he did, or maybe I don't know when he did the call, but it was posted on what's that? Illuminate the Dark, whatever channel. And the dude just spun up, and he's saying, like, I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to stop doing this. I'm never going to stop talking about my stalker, the professional victim, blah, blah, blah. Like, first of all, bro, you pled guilty. Second, you've got a probation revocation hearing coming up in a couple weeks, on the 11th, I think. The purpose of probation is to give the offender a chance, basically, to be out in society. And one of the things the judge has to consider in allowing probation is whether or not the terms and conditions of probation are going to reasonably prevent the offender from reoffending. And if the offender is telling the judge, I'm never, ever, ever going to stop doing the things that you're telling me I can't do, that is a clear indication to the judge that probation isn't going to work. If you are telling the judge, I am not going to comply with the terms and conditions of probation, then probation doesn't work. And what options does a judge have left other than to revoke probation, you absolute moron? Oh, I'm so glad I'm not Resnick. I mean, Resnick probably got more sleep last night than I did, but other than that, I was thinking while I was driving to work, like, if I was Resnick, what kind of defense would I offer? How would I try to spin that? And like, the only thing I can come up with would be to say, like, well, Your Honor, he doesn't actually mean that. This is just audience engagement. This is just puffery. This is just him, generating clicks and views. And, even with that, there's still like obvious holes. First of all, he's saying it, and anything you say can be used against you. And he's being very emphatic when he's saying it, and listening to it, like, I believe that he actually is never, ever, ever going to stop. After listening to that, I believe that he's never going to stop. At least when he was saying it, to me, it sounded like he believed it. He really believed it. That doesn't mean he can't change his mind. But when he was saying it, I believe him. I believe him. And he's not generating clicks and views on his own channel. Like, this isn't his clicks and views. This is someone else. Like, he's getting nothing out of this. He's getting no monetary value out of it. I mean, it's easy to see what the state will do with it. It's so easy. Like, just play it. Here you go, Your Honor. He's never, ever, 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 ever going to comply with the terms and conditions of probation. He's going to continue to talk about the victim, make allegations that she is somehow the victimizer, even though he pled guilty, not her. And he's never going to stop, Your Honor. You have no choice. You have no choice but to revoke his probation. So easy. Now, I'm not predicting the outcome. If I had to bet on it, I would absolutely, without any hesitation, bet my next paycheck that the probation's going to get revoked. Metcalf might, out of the sheer goodness of his heart, just decide to tighten down the terms and conditions of probation. No internet access, something like that. He might. I'm not saying he will. Like, again, if I had to bet, he's going to revoke probation because Lane Myers is saying in no uncertain terms, I will not comply. What do you do with that as a judge? What do you do with that? Like, you're not giving the judge options. It just, watching him self-destruct in real time. And I feel bad about it. Like, if you watch every single video I've done on Lane Myers, from the very beginning, I've just wanted him to stop harassing the victim. I've never wanted him to go to jail. I was happy that he pled guilty. I was happy that he got probation. I was hoping that he would be able to comply with the terms and conditions of his probation. I have never wished any ill on Lane Myers. Yes, he's retarded. That's not me wishing it on him. I wish he was smart enough to understand cause and effect, to understand that his actions have consequences, to understand that he doesn't know the law well enough to represent himself, that he's not the expert, that Resnick is the expert, and he needs to let Resnick do Resnick's job. I've never wished ill on him, though. He's a moron, and he's being egged on by other morons. He's being supported by morons. I don't have words for how stupid this is. He's just torturing himself for no reason, for no benefit, no gain, or bane, because I tried to merge benefit and gain together because I'm really tired. Anyway, I got to go to work. Thanks for watching. Good luck to you, Lane. Good luck to you on your hearing today. I'm going to tune into really cool news because Judy You Got This is apparently going to cover it. So check out really cool news this afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you're in. And, hope for the best, expect the worst. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.